Hello, my friends. A little different Facebook Live video this time because we're going to be doing some compensation structure type comparisons as well as just some differences in how companies actually process the money coming in based on the product sales and so on. And it's important to understand, I mean, number one, product is king. Product and pricing are super important. And then because we can't pick once we've joined a company what kind of pay plan they're going to have, you have to pick that ahead of time and know what you're going into. The challenge with that is unless you've been around the block a time or two and left some skid marks along the way, then you really don't know until you get into a compensation plan what you're in for. So to that end, I want to do a little, just a little, call it revealing here, and so that you can see different ways that pay plans are made up, and starting with, so let's take a look first at we have a product, right? And that product has a cost. Now, in typical network marketing parlance, we have product cost, and let's just say that product cost is $155, and many of you are going to recognize that as a number that comes from our former company. And so we have that, okay? Then in a lot of companies, there's what's called the business volume that comes from that product cost. And in the case of our former company, that was 110 points. And then there's a commissionable volume that comes from that. And in our former company, it was 50%, so 55 points. Well, guess what? This is the one you're paid on, not that and not that. Now, in our current company, we have product cost, and for the sake of, because we have a product that's $100, okay, so that's the product cost. The business volume is typically what is used for rank advancement. So they don't go on the product cost, they go on the rank, on the business volume to figure how far up the ladder are you climbing, and then again, they pay you on commissionable volume. So in our current company, product cost is $100. Well, guess what? That is also your business volume for rank advancement purposes. And how much difference does it make if you have to spend 1.5 times the money in order to get the rank advancement credit? It makes a huge difference. And then 50% here is the commissionable volume, so you come out the same. It's just you have to spend a lot more money. That's not uncommon in a lot of companies. But I just wanted to get that on the table here to start with, as hey, the first place to start looking and comparing companies would be that if you're in it for the money. Now, product wise, we're going to leave that for a whole nother discussion. But now we want to dive into the binary compensation plan because it has a real high appeal. Why? Let's just take smiley face sponsor. That's the person above you. In a binary, you've always got what are called two teams, two legs, two business centers, whatever you want to call it. And over here, that one's you. Now in binaries, they have a left leg and a right leg, and the whole selling point is this. As your sponsor starts adding people, guess what? Because you can only have two teams, when your sponsor brings on person number 3, and we'll say this was number 1 and you're number 2, in the order of events of how it happened. Sponsor brings on a person, they go over here. Sponsor brings on another person. Wow, you get what's called spillover. So you're a happy camper. Sponsor. Now, here's what I want you to notice. For you to be paid, you have to have two teams, and they have to be personally sponsored. So here's the cool part. You take off and you do your thing, and you've got your left person, and then because that spot's already filled by your sponsor, you now have your right person. Okay, sponsor goes crazy, and they're doing their thing, and they're doing their thing. Here's the secret number one in a binary compensation plan. In order for you to make any money, you have to be keeping up with what's called your power leg, because this leg is not only you building on it, but your sponsor. Every time they sponsor somebody on their right side, it's going to keep spilling on down. Okay? Look at, and let's just say for the sake of argument, your sponsor, because we've been in this position, has become responsible for $100,000 of business volume, commissionable volume, whatever you want to. Let's call that commissionable volume. 100,000 in commissionable volume down this leg. Awesome. The story with the binary goes, you've had half your business built for you. Okay. So you got 100,000 in volume over here. How much are you going to get paid on? Hey, Casey. Hi, Don. Quick review, because especially for you, Don, so you don't have to watch this from the beginning. We're just talking. Oh, hey, Etienne. How are you? Glad you joined the call or the video here. You'll recognize this number from the company that shall not be named, but starts with a K and ends with a Y. Product cost and just differences. Real fast review here. You got to pay 155 for the product in order to get 110 points of business volume. That's what's going to rank advance you as your business volume. And then half of that is what becomes your commissionable volume. Well, quick mental math for those that know algebra, your commissionable volume is only a third, pretty much 30% of your money you have to spend. In our current company, CTFO, if the product costs $100, you get $100 of credit for that for rank advancement, and then you're still paid 50%. So 50 of that is commissionable volume. Here's one other big key here. This binary, by the way, that I'm illustrating, hello, Ron. This binary that I'm illustrating pays out 85% of what they call the business volume, and under their definition, business volume is the commissionable volume. They pay out 85% of that. There's all kinds, guys, of little ways that companies can build in what's called breakage. Breakage means money you will never see. For example, up here, there's $45 because you're only getting 110 in credit towards rank advancing, and you have to pay 155 to get those points. There's $45, right? $45, you can't really see that in the camera, but of breakage. That's pure profit money they're not paying anything on, over and above the product cost and everything else. So anyway, over here, $100 is what the product costs. We get 100 in credit, and where the binary company I'm illustrating only pays out 85% of this business volume, CTFO says, we can live on our half. The $50 that's not commissionable volume, we can pay for the product to be made, and the labels to be printed, and the staff to answer the phones, and the lights to be kept on, and the office space. We can take care of ourselves on our half. So 100% of the commissionable volume is paid into what you're going to see as the compensation stream. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, now back to the binary. So in a binary, when you join, and I'll tell you right now, the reason we refused anymore to do binary compensation plans is because for me there was an enormous ethical issue with it. Well, what do you mean, Jim, ethical issue? Here's what I mean. Here you are, here's your sponsor, here you are. Binaries always have a left side and a right side, left team, right team, left business center, right business, whatever they want to call it, doesn't matter. So in this case, we're saying you joined and you ended up on your sponsor's right side. Now, let's just say you've got a hot dog sponsor. Every time he brings somebody in, he or she, on the right side, because binary is just, you can actually tell it which side you want your people to fall as you sponsor them. Okay, cool. So your sponsor's building, and plowing volume and people down that right side. That's called spillover. Yay! Looky, here I am, and I've got spillover. And now I've got 100,000 in volume underneath me. Yay! What yay? So what's the ethical issue? The ethical issue is if you know, so here's a potential prospect who wants to come on board, and this prospect knows something about binaries. Well, guess what? You do not get paid unless you build the other side. It's called your inside leg. You don't get paid, or actually it's called your pay leg. Inside leg is this guy. This is his inside leg. But you don't get paid until you match the volume at some level against that side. What does that mean, Jim? It means if you want to get paid on 100,000 of volume over here, you have to have a matching 100,000 in volume to get paid on all of that. What? Yep. So let's just say down the road here, you've got 30,000 in volume on your power leg. They call this the power leg. Okay, and on your pay side, you've got 1,000 in volume because you sponsored a handful of people who sponsored a handful of people. In the binary that I'm illustrating here, the highest, well, you'll never see the highest, but the longest running good percentage is 15% of the lesser leg. That's this one. So you have 100,000 or 30,000 in volume over here. You've created 1,000 in volume over here. How much are you going to get paid? 15% of the 1,000. That's the way they work. That means you're going to get the sum total of $150. Even though you're sitting on and it wouldn't matter. There could be 100,000, 30,000, 10,000. If you've only got 1,000 to match against this volume, hello, Ronnie, then you're only going to get paid on the lesser leg ever. And 15% of 1,000 is $150. So now let's take a look at the company that shall not be mentioned, but starts with a K and ends with a Y. And let's just say, here you are, and they want you to have 3 legs, and we'll say this is the one that went off and did 30,000 in volume. That's area director level, by the way, which should, if everything was perfect, would pay you $3,000 a month. However, again, like a binary, maybe this guy and this guy aren't doing so good, but between them, you've got 1,000 in volume. Hopefully you can read that. Yeah, you can. Good. Make sure it stays in the frame. Okay, and this is the K company. So you've got 30,000. You should be making $3,000 as an area director, but you've only got 1,000 in outside volume. Well, the way they do it is they say we have a 60-40 rule. No more than 60% of the volume can come from any one leg. Okay, translation, you've got 1,000 of volume here and you've got 30,000 of volume here. You're only going to get paid about $300. How do I know that? Because that's what I did. That was our situation. And so I'm telling you from personal experience, that's how it works out. Well, 300 is better than 150. So What's the problem? Here's the problem. In CTFO, there is no leg requirement. There is no balancing. So if there's 30,000 in volume, I can tell you like precisely how much money that would be in your pocket. And it works out to be, so in CTFO, you got the same thing. Within like $5 almost. Here's what you, hey Eddie, that same 30,000, well, there'd be 31,000 there. We won't count the other 1,000. This would generate $1,329 in your pocket. All because of splitting hairs in the way the compensation plan works. And up here with the K company, in order to get that, I have to be spending $155 a month. With CTFO, I have to be spending $49 a month in personal product consumption. Over here with the binary company that won't be mentioned, but it starts with an H and ends with HWorx, you have to be spending somewhere between $90 and $400, depending on what kind of a title you want to give yourself, a month. Hello. So where do you want to be? Well, first, product is king, and then pricing. We're unbeatable in both those areas to begin with, between those two companies anyway. And there's other companies out there that are even more expensive. Hello. But then if you're looking at it from an income standpoint, CBD is hot. With CTFO, you've also got pet CBD products, pet shampoo, skincare, pain relief, sleep and energy products, diet and weight loss products. You've got enough stuff that people, the average person after their second and third month with CTFO, not because they have to, because they want to, is spending between $150 and $250 a month on products they fell in love with. That is like so awesome. But stay away from the binaries. Stay away from any company that has a 60-40 rule going on, because it will hurt you. I can't tell you how bad it felt to have 100,000 in volume we couldn't even touch. And the way that that happened is because in binaries, you'll get this offer. Joe Blow down here quits. Well, you can actually jack somebody into that position, meaning a new person can come in and literally inherit that position. And it's a sale tool because, oh my God, I can put you in here and you'll already have 100,000 a month in volume rolling over, rolling over. It's useless. Now, the ethical issue. I want to finish this on an ethical issue. If you're a smart network marketer and you're looking at a binary, do you want to be in the leg that Junior Achiever here, who's got like 2 weeks longer in the company than you do and needs to build the matching leg? Do you want to be on that side of the deal, or do you want to be on the side of the deal that's got all these people plowing volume into it? Well, duh, right? Junior Achiever figures that out. It doesn't take long to go, oh my God, I need to be building this thing big time, and I'm like, don't know how exactly, but I'm going to work at it. Gets a hold of a hot person out here that seems to be like they're going to be a real builder. Which leg does Junior Achiever here want that person in? Well, the money leg, the one that he has to build up to match that volume. This person asks, which one is your power leg, right or left? I can't tell you what an ethical issue it becomes when Junior Achiever there wrestles with, do I tell him this is the power leg, or do I tell him I'm a real builder and I'm going to put you over here where you're going to just smoke with people? It's an issue we couldn't resolve because I know I need to build my money leg. The power leg's already going crazy. What leg do you think that they want to be in, though, if they know? Do you conceal it? All right. So all that to say, look, CTFO, none of those issues exist. You get dollar for dollar business volume. You get all of the commissionable volume side put into the pay stream. With no leg balancing, if you've got 30,000 in volume, you're paid on 30,000 in volume, not the weakest side of your business. How stupid is that, right? Well, not if you're the company. Okay, so that's it, guys. Appreciate you being in here and watching this. Hopefully you got some good out of it. I wanted really for people to be able to compare some compensation plans and know what you're looking at, because there's people looking all over the place. You need to know where the pitfalls are, because guess what? Once you join a company, you can't pick how they're going to pay you. You buy in 100% once you're there. All right, so with that, we'll end the live video. Love you all. Well, I want to see success for everybody. Bye for now.